Eclecticka. I'm Michael 7 Michael. And today we've got Ranger, Sensai Vegan, and CC. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Good.
How
good,
goes
good.
it?
Good. So let's talk about a conversation that we always have.
Mm-hmm.
What is the difference between geek and nerd? First of all, how do you guys classify yourselves if you had to? Which one would you?
Oh, geek.
I'm a straight geek.
I've been called both.
Absolutely.
I've been called both throughout my life, so I don't know.
I
guess
half and half.
Yeah, and it's like I feel like what I thought was a nerd is apparently a geek from what I've been told, and vice versa. So I don't know where. I think I know I'm both, but I don't know
So
which is
GERD,
which.
a nerd.
Yeah, I'm a
We're
GERD
gonna
or
work
a
that out
neek.
today.
Yeah, let's do that because I need some direction here, and I don't know who I am right now.
Well,
Yeah.
well, right here it says a geeky person is worldly smart.
Mm-hmm. So like
Into
culture.
computers.
Mm-hmm.
Extroverted.
Okay.
Into software.
Definitely. Okay.
And could be an actor.
Oh.
Versus
Wow,
a nerdy
that's
That's
person.
two different things.
Yeah,
Software
right.
developer
I
and
know.
an
Who
actor.
knows?
Be an actor.
And I don't
Now,
know too many
No.
extroverted software
That's a little
developers.
off.
Now,
Well, I guess I mean software metaphorically, maybe.
no software.
Oh, like literally.
Yeah, and a nerdy person would be book smart,
Okay.
Okay.
into science and math,
Okay.
introverted, into hardware,
Okay.
All right.
and a screenwriter.
But see, I feel like the writers and the science and math people are often on two different planes.
I see
Thank
that.
you.
But I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
Yes,
they
they are.
might be like more like introverted.
Right.
Yeah.
But
I
like-
feel like they're kind of the same. in a sense.
Yeah. I mean, I do
I'm
feel
Because like a
thinking-
screenwriter is behind the scenes while the actors are in front
that's
of the
true.
camera.
That's true.
I'm
That's
thinking
true.
the
So I feel
geeks
like
are the
they
writers
fit.
and the creators.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Geeks are the writers, creators.
Yeah, because on one end, I do feel like I'm very much of a literary artist, like reading and writing. But then at the same time, I do love the sciences, but I like the life sciences,
I got it.
not
Right.
the like I'm
Like
not a
physics or-
physicist,
yeah.
or physical science and all that other
Chemistry.
stuff. I like the
Not
things
into
that
the,
breathe
atoms
and blossom and yeah. So I mean, I get,
Electrons and protons. and
yeah,
all
yeah.
these things.
I guess I am more of a software person.
Hey.
I'm
Now,
sorry.
again, these are just random posts that people
Right,
put
of
up.
course. So it's
So
not,
this is not the law.
right.
But a long time ago, geekiness meant that you were into something beyond the norm.
Right.
Like you specialized in an interest,
Right.
Xbox.
especially in areas of things that no one cares about.
Right. Right.
True. Well, not so much anymore though, because being a geek is the end thing now, right?
Right.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
Everyone
Exactly.
wants part of the geekdom.
And
Right.
a geek can be like anything. You could be like a makeup geek, a gaming geek.
So true.
Right.
Like it goes anywhere.
Right.
honestly,
Right.
It's all in context, really. Because you can have any particular, as we talked about in our last episode, you can have any particular talent, but if you put it in a geek or nerd context, then it's, your way of adding to the culture, right? But and then you picked up on Revenge of the Nerds, which I feel like puts nerds and geeks kind of almost in the same
Yeah,
box.
they were in the same category. in a sense.
Yeah, and
But
I
you had a
do.
variety of them.
Yeah, and I do feel like there's a lot of overlap between the two, but they are not mutually exclusive either.
Right. You got the overlap,
Right,
but then you have the distinction.
right,
Right.
Because
Now-
you can't have both.
right.
Now, here's a chart that talked
I
about,
mixed that up, but anyway.
they said normies, which are quote unquote
Normal.
average or normal people.
Right,
They have technical skills, no. Social skills, yes.
right,
Okay.
While a geek has technical skills, yes. Social skills, yes. Now, a nerd, technical skills, yes. Social skills, no.
Interesting.
And a dork, technical skills, no. And social skills, no.
Well, first of all,
So I thought that was very interesting.
Wow.
a dork is a scientific term for a whale's penis. So let's start with that. So let's look it up. I'm so serious. Like
Now
my
that's That's a nerdy moment.
My
no
best
one would know
friend.
that.
She said she was a nerd, y'all.
My best friend, I promise you, shout out to
Tell
my
her
best
why.
friend Erin and her sister Roxanne, because
Right.
we were all
Oh,
really
yeah.
big into marine biology.
Right.
And every time my best friend would call her sister a dork, she'd be like, I'm not a whale penis. So it's just like, it brings back fond memories for me. But
Wow.
yeah, very interesting. And I feel like in today's society, like everybody is getting increasingly antisocial. So you can't even, like normies are antisocial now,
Man, most
especially
people
in this
have
post.
they don't have any social skills.
In this
mean-
post-technical society,
I mean,
post-tech.
we have to just to like define social because there is social media,
Yeah,
but
those are
then,
two different
but
things.
yeah, but like outside
Right.
social, and then there's like inside
Right.
social.
It's a level of like intimacy that
Right.
that people in general are increasingly unable to engage.
Exactly.
To the point where I've had people literally walk up to me and would try to get something out of me, whether it was like a phone number or my business or something. And when you turn them away, when you turn the offer away, they just kind of sit there and they don't even know how to respond to you. Like, oh, no, thank you. Okay, fine. Thank you. Have a nice day. Like, they just don't know where to go from
just
there. It's
shut
like
down,
they're following
right?
a manual in their head and they just don't let it flow organically
Right.
anymore, you know?
I went out with some friends and we get into the spot, right? People on their phones.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like you have all these people here, but you can't interact. But
Right.
you have to be
Right.
on your phone.
Right.
I'm like, this is crazy.
Right. And sometimes they'll be in the same room as you going through your page,
Right.
liking all your stuff.
Yeah.
It's like we're right in front of them.
Right.
Yeah.
And
That's
you talk
scary,
about
man.
it like, you just posted this status, like, I'm sitting right
Put them
here.
Phones away, y'all. Put the phones away. Talk
Yeah.
to people.
I gotta work on that, man.
Well, if that stayed true, and we hold true to any of these definitions, that means because of technology, people are becoming more nerdy because they're becoming more
It is the information
antisocial
age.
and not being able,
Yeah.
not having the ability
Yeah.
to socialize.
And it is, yeah.
Yes and no.
And-
It's dumbing people down. Technology is dumbing people down.
Well,
man.
I say that because people don't, again, they don't know how to ask for directions. They don't know how to follow directions. They
Right.
don't know how to communicate. I saw these two young guys, they almost had a fight because one of them flared their arm out and hit the other one right in the chest by accident. And instead of like, you know, as a kid, you just say, I apologize or say
I
I'm
apologize.
sorry. Then you continue to talk and
Right.
you kind of hopefully don't end up in a fight.
Right.
He was like, he just wanted to prove his point. I was just, while the other guy is turning red, trying to process, should I knock this guy out or not?
Wow.
So I had to step in and be like, and eventually said, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, see, that's where we were going with it.
Right.
And start out with, I'm sorry.
Right.
Right. And then maybe
And then you can explain, right?
happened.
Where's your thesis?
Right.
We need a thesis here.
Right.
There's
It's
a
like,
process
wow.
to this.
So I know they're definitely being dumbed down, but they don't know how to talk.
Right.
Communication's bad between
Yeah.
people nowadays.
Yeah.
Again, it's all the stuff like I said, on the phone, on the computer, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram,
Right.
Twitter. People can tweet, or they call it twit.
Right.
Twit.
Twitter. It's called
You
Twitter.
tweet.
But you said
You
that
showing
a
your
tweet.
you showing
You
your
said it in a
age
tweet.
now,
That's
Charles.
Oh man. Anyway, Twitter's a pain in the butt. But you understand what I'm saying.
I mean,
They
there
call
are.
it Gram. I'm just messing with Instagram. Anyway, but it's just like, yeah, we call it Gram. Graham crackers. But it's just like, yeah, they can communicate on there. Hashtag
Right.
this, you know. All
Right.
the- but
Right.
once
I mean, there are benefits to social media. Like, you can get
Mm-hmm.
news, you can talk to friends from around the world.
Right.
But there is you need to limit yourself.
limit
Right.
yourself.
What
Yeah.
we're finding is that there's an expanse on the number of people and the number of connections that you maintain, but the depth of those connections has died down. It's been
Absolutely.
watered down. And on one hand, it's like I can see why geek culture is in now because it is the information age and your ability to like succeed and thrive literally depends on the information that you have in your whether it's in your head or your credentials or whatever the case may be. It's pretty much what gives you a leg up. But at the same time, like you said, it takes away that personability where no, my bad.
No, my leg jumped.
I'm sorry. I just was flailing my arms around. But it's gotten to a point where
See, but you said sorry first. So
right.
That's
See?
good.
But it's gotten to a point where having information and people skills has become a very rare thing.
rare.
And it's almost a commodity. Like social skills has become the ultimate commodity because it's dying. I mean, between that, writing cursive and like what else?
They don't
Writing
teach in
cursive and
schools
like
anymore.
writing your signature.
Well, now they're advocating to do it again. They're advocating to teach kids
need
how to
to.
write, not only just so they know how to do it, but you can't read historical documents.
Right.
You can't read the Declaration of Independence because it's
sign a
written in
check.
cursive. So how are you going to know, you can't research anything basically
Yeah,
past 1930 something.
That's crazy.
Right.
That's
yeah.
scary.
Yeah.
It's like I said, dumbing down society, man.
Right. It's a big,
Dumbing it down.
yeah. Yeah, it has its drawbacks.
Yeah. But I remember, I'm going back to the geek side. I think everyone has a little bit of geek sprinkling on top of them.
Oh, yeah.
I really do.
It's just varying levels of
Right.
geekdom.
They had this huge arcade in the middle of Times Square. I think it was like 48th Street. If anyone knows, 48th Street and Broadway, it was a huge arcade. I used to work the overnight, and I would go into this arcade on my way back to my apartment, and they had Marvel vs. Capcom. And you would go in there, and you see guys from Wall Street, doctors, construction workers, everyone would just band together at that spot.
Yeah.
And you would have about 30 people or more around that arcade game,
Right.
Marvel vs. Capcom, waiting for the next turn.
Well, actually, you just brought up a very interesting point, Charles. Because, Star Wars comes out.
Right.
It's family friendly, right? Everybody likes Star Wars, right?
Right.
Some people don't, but most normal human beings like Star Wars, right?
Right.
That doesn't automatically make them a geek because they like Star Wars.
Right.
Or automatically, like, Charlie, we kind of made fun of this with No Shots Fired, but there are a lot of females that want to be actresses or models, and they look at the geek wave as a way to, I'm into gaming because you played 2 games
Right.
and because you bought a game system. I mean,
sorry,
that doesn't automatically give you a geek pass.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, on one
Right?
hand, it's like, it's one thing if the console and the 2 video games were all you could afford. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
But versus like not having any, like you tried it, but you really didn't have an interest in it. But now that it's cool, you want to take advantage of
Right.
it.
Yeah.
I think that narrative, for one, is very insulting to the geek community as a whole, because then it's like you basically see yourself as a big fish in a little pond, which is kind of insulting to like purist geeks, I guess, in a sense, where it's like, all right, like I was a geek before I was supposedly hot or whatever people want to make up because of their preconceived beauty standards that other people have set for them.
Right.
Even though I've always been the same person, now because I fit a certain phenotype and I don't have the big glasses, now I'm not a geek.
So you
And
had
it's-
big glasses before? That's what you're saying?
Oh yeah,
You still
I
got
had,
the glasses?
no, not anymore.
Why not?
Because those are hot
Because
now.
That's what I'm saying.
technology. I had an astigmatism, and they were like this
You
huge.
had the hoot-owl glasses.
Yeah, I did. I looked like Hoot Hoot, the Pokemon. That's how I looked. But aside from my childhood trauma,
We need pictures.
We do need pictures.
Pictures that
Find
didn't
one.
happen.
my dad and stepmom have plenty, and
That
I
is
promise
just
you, I
funny.
have friends from high school who have laughed at my pictures for 10 straight minutes. But that's neither here nor there.
Can I jump in there and talk? Can I please jump in? Okay. Most people claim to be gamers. You're not gamers. There's a different. No, I'm telling you straight. Oh, here's another story. Story time with Sensei Vegan. This is how you know you're a gamer, right? When you take the day off, or the day before a game is released, or you take that day off so you can take and get ahead on a Call of Duty or a Halo, that's a gamer. When you look at your paycheck, you look at it and say, okay, either I'm eating ramen for the next week, or I can, if I buy the game, I'm eating ramen for the next week. That's how you know you're a gamer. Just because you pick up a game and you play a little bit, that's not a gamer.
Right.
No.
It's a completely, I say most people are recreational gamers.
Right.
Yeah.
When you walk into a store, this is me,
Right.
and a guy gives you the thumbs up and you walk up to the counter and he fans out about 15 games and you pick out like 4 or 5,
Right.
that's a gamer.
It's
Right.
definitely
Yeah.
levels to it, because it's like I know people who are Prince fans, for example, and they would see Prince every time he came to town. But I knew people who would like follow this dude like from city to city. Like there's levels to this,
man.
and it's not to say that the person who waits for him to come to town isn't more of a fan than the person who follows him around. But it's definitely
There is a difference.
Echelon to this. It's like,
You know, and another thing, I always hear people say, you know, because they know I game at work and everything. Oh,
Right.
yeah, I play. I said, what do you play? I have a PS4, and what else? Oh, I play Xbox. Really? How many games you have with it? We're talking games and stuff. And they look at me. I'm like, man, you don't play it? I had 3 Xbox 360s. No, I'm sorry. I had 6 Xbox 360s. That's how much I gamed on them things. 6 of them. That's how I ran through them Xboxes. That's a gamer. I don't play. I play the thing till the wheels fall off. Till the smoke come out, open up another one, and you put it, set it up.
right, you gotta have a
6.
backup.
Backup.
Xbox. Seriously. Microsoft, build better machines, man.
True.
Anyway.
Yeah, but
Shot
The game god has spoken.
even with them, I appreciate animation in general.
Yeah.
I love all 3D clay animation.
Like Final Fantasy, like even though I don't consider myself a gamer, I appreciated that video game so much
was
for what it did.
Yeah.
Yeah, for what
story-
it did
it was beautiful.
for
Yeah.
computer animation in general,
Right.
and for the gaming community in general. Like it legit changed the game to
But-
the point where they use that
Like,
technique
there's
in
definitely
movies.
an art to it. Like it's
Yeah.
definitely like artistic and creative and
Yeah, for sure.
But definitely my point is like you can't watch one anime and then say you're an anime
Right.
expert.
absolutely
You know
not.
what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
Like I
Even
was,
if
yeah.
you like stick to like the mainstream,
Right.
I feel like you can't really call it like if you like watch Naruto, Dragon Ball Z,
Right.
and then like Pokemon and call
Right.
yourself like an anime geek. I
Right.
don't- That
I
doesn't
agree
fly
with
with me.
that.
Right.
Yeah.
You got to go back.
Yes.
Yeah, it's all in, and I think in this day and age, like when we were growing up, it was a lot harder because we couldn't stream things, so you had to pretty much
You didn't have access. You had to
yeah,
get,
you had to take
a
what you could
DVD
get,
or
right? You had
video
to- right,
tape
or try to
something.
buy it. Like there's a store near where I grew up called Dream Wizards, and it was like the only store where I could get Sailor Moon DVDs. You know, because I was a
Oh, those
Sailor
were the
awesome.
days.
Right. Right, because it was like I was really more of a Sailor Moon fan, not necessarily an anime fan, but more so because of a lack of access to it. But then I would read fan fiction, I would read mangas. So it's like you try to being a authentic geek. It's like even if you can't access all this stuff, you're still gonna try to find a way to like at least watch it at your friend's house
Yeah.
That's so
or
true.
something,
Yeah.
or borrow
You'll-
a video game
you'll
or
find a way.
something, rent a video game, you know.
Yeah, we used to have to buy all our stuff. All your friends
Right,
had
we
to
got
borrow,
yeah, they got it good these days,
You
man.
just go on YouTube and type something in and you get everything.
Right,
Yeah.
It's not that
right.
same.
They can sell, even if they don't get no money back for the games now, you can still sell it. Your best hope back in the day was to blow on that thing and then just throw it away. It's just, and the instructions clearly said, don't do it. It's just-
Everybody did that.
It worked though.
It did.
it
worked.
did. It did.
There, in the gaming world, they started putting out videos of catching people out there cheating. And Charles did a whole thing
Thank
on
you
gaming
so
with
much.
cheating. So that's starting to become more the norm now.
They're getting caught in competitions cheating.
Getting caught. And so actually, if Steph Network, if you
Yeah.
look
Like,
under
how-
gaming, 1 or 2 of those videos are up there. So the reason why I bring this up, not only a plug, go to the website, you'll see those videos. But I think fake geeks are gonna start getting blown out the water, and fake nerds are gonna get blown over. So I think soon there'll be a backlash.
Oh, yeah.
If it starts out with gaming, anime is next,
Right.
Yeah.
and
I
then
mean-
these cosplayers
Right.
that are not really into it. Again, if I this weekend go to a
Right.
con and dress up as my favorite character,
Right.
I'm a cosplayer. No, I cosplayed.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like once as your
Right.
favorite character, but a cosplayer will like do it over.
It's a
and
lifestyle.
over and
Right.
over.
It is.
It's a
Yeah.
lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean to the point where oftentimes some of the most famous cosplayers will recycle or retouch the same like 10 cosplays because of all the time and effort that they put into it.
Yeah.
Always upgrading, making tweaks to it.
Yeah, while they're making other stuff along the way.
Yeah.
All right, so what is your, whether it's geek or nerd, what is, let's start with you, Ranger, first. Your biggest pet peeve, which genre and what type of person, as far as pretending within, is there any particular thing that gets you really fired up?
Let's see. I'm trying to think. I would say
No, you're fine.
pretending to maybe the movies. Maybe like the anime movies, like pretending to know what's going on. Oh no, I got it. When you watch the movie and you think you know about the whole series from that one movie.
Oh, true.
That's what I hate.
True.
Okay.
That's what I hate.
Like they're experts now.
Yeah.
Because
It's
they,
like, oh, I saw
You
that
get that a
movie.
lot.
Now
they saw Sailor Moon S.
Exactly. And they say they know everything about the movie. And
Right.
It's like, no.
Right.
No.
What would you say, Charles?
All right, I'm gonna flip back to the gaming side. All right, when you get gamers, and I always say, it's like if you have a competition, right? And you get these guys coming in with these program controllers, buttons all over it, this and that. It should be, if you're playing on an Xbox and you're playing at a competition, you should have to use the original controller that comes with the system, not this modified bullcrap. Because people don't have skill today.
Right.
You got these controllers that, you can rapid fire and quick knife and all this other type of garbage.
Right.
If you can't run what comes out of that box, then you don't have the skill to
Right.
be, seriously, you should have to run with standard controllers. So people
Yeah.
that need upgraded equipment to play games, you got no skill. You're not a gaming geek, man. You just an occasional gamer.
Yeah,
Quick
you-
question. Are those allowed in competitions?
They use scuff controllers and things like that in competition.
Really?
Yes, they use it. They're saying, well, you can't rapid fire. I don't care. If you have all these little buttons on the back, that is a modded controller. It's not a standard controller. If you look at NASCAR, they all have to run the same specs.
Right.
Or if you're playing basketball, can you come in with your own basketball?
No.
Exactly. So no, run with the standard
your
stuff.
own
And they
basketball.
don't, man. Yeah.
What would you say, Chana?
You're
What?
making me weird.
I think that Cassandra touched on it a little bit with our friends from Section 8 Comics or Section 8 Studio, and that is people trying to like capitalize on the culture in the worst possible way. So it's like, I get it, the bills have to get paid. So like, for example, this setup that we have here, very expensive. I just traveled from DC,
Right.
and all of this costs money. So yes, on one hand, it would be nice to, everyone deserves, in my opinion, everyone deserves to make a living doing what they love, a comfortable
Absolutely.
living. Like there is more than enough wealth and resources in this world for everybody to be comfortable doing what makes them happy.
Absolutely.
The problem is when people, come in and try to like make money off of a certain trend or a certain lifestyle. And one, you're not really into it. And two, you disrespect, blow off, and exploit the people who are really into it, and basically the base that created that culture or created the platform that allowed you to even do what you're trying to do in the first place.
Comic book movies.
So that's my comic. I mean, it happens in comic book movies. It happens in conventions.
Right? It's so true.
It happens in
man.
TV series. All of that. You know what I mean? Like even we're gonna beat Ghost in the Shell until it's dead in the water. Okay, but even with Ghost in the Shell, like part of what made that comics so profound to people was the representation piece, and for them to take that and just throw it by the wayside
Fudge it all
shows how much of
Fudge it up.
a non like shows how much
Fudge
you
it
did
up.
not listen to the real fans, because so much of that woman's identity, like her name was Japanese. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Oh no, baby, what is you doing? No, honey, you started wrong. So that's kind of like my thing. There's nothing wrong with wanting to make a living and make money off of something, but it has to be genuine and it has to be respectful.
It has to come from like
to
a true
the culture.
passion.
Yes. Or at least if it's not going to come with a true passion, at least be that person who wants to sponsor the people who are truly passionate and do right by them, not just exploit them and try to make as much money as you can and shortchange them in the process. So that's kind of what my grinds my gears.
I can
Agreed.
understand that.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
definitely.
bunch of posers, man.
Yeah, and they do the same thing with comic book publishers too.
Yeah,
you know,
just
so
jumping in to try to get their
producers,
piece.
you know, all the indies who make this culture so great and make it really thrive.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to a Vexed series.
Yeah.
I want it. We're gonna get it.
Because again, same scenario. There's so many people that are even on that side. They're creative. They weren't trying to do this stuff before. Now all of a sudden, everybody want to make their own series, their thing.
It's true. I mean, it seems like the people that grind, you know what I mean, Seven, they're just grinding year after year. It's like trying to ice skate uphill. There's someone to come in within the first 6 months, and their stuff is just takes off. It's kind of crazy.
Right. And that's why I'm so adamant about not necessarily judging people on the amount of things that they have, because that speaks to, you know, it definitely can speak to someone's passion and sacrifice, but it doesn't always exclusively involve that. And, you know, it's not fair to the people who are really passionate but can't afford to invest in all this stuff. And then someone else who has the money but doesn't really have the passion can just totally undermine that person.
Right, that's true.
You know, so. But,
Or the nakedness,
yeah.
like the Instagram.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
The
I got
Instagram.
50 million followers. Yeah, they're following your butt, not you.
And that's fair. They can follow your butt as long as your butt is really into it. I don't care. Me personally, you know what I mean? As long as your butt really likes whatever it is, I don't care. Right? As long as your naked butt can be as naked as you want to be, but as long as you are a real geek and you are really about that life. I'm not.
Hey,
I'm a feminist. I can't sit here and say that, oh, you can't wear that or you can't not wear that, you know? Just like you can't tell me that I can't wear this shirt.
Boo-boo.
Right, do you, boo-boo? But be authentic. I would rather have someone be half dressed and authentic than in you know, like a full armor suit and full of crap. You know what I mean?
Yeah, where are all the SpongeBob fans now that it's not hot right now?
Well, the show's canceled, though.
It doesn't matter, man.
Well, they're coming out with a
it
new
was
movie.
like the last season. Oh.
Yeah.
Another movie?
Yep.
But I feel like the kids today don't really have any context.
Man, the cartoons suck.
Like everybody who watched SpongeBob is like grown now. They don't want to see the movie.
I think they started making. They continued the series just to make more money, in my opinion. Because
I wasn't a SpongeBob. I wasn't a SpongeBob fan. So.
I don't think the episodes now are that great.
Yeah, SpongeBob.
Blade Runner's coming out.
Is it?
They're working on the Blade Runner.
And there was a what's the guy's name? Is it Lightning? Something Lightning?
Black Lightning?
Yes.
Yes, I heard that.
So
I'm excited.
Very excited.
I'm excited over. Yeah, CW is gonna make a Black Lightning.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's gonna be a show.
Series?
It's gonna be a series.
Yeah, the series. Yeah.
And
Is it gonna be
CW of
black?
all channels.
I don't know.
You know,
I'm pretty
they
sure.
Probably not. You know, they always
Mildly.
mixing stuff up.
I mean,
Mildly black.
CW tends to be all right.
Yeah, the Flash was
They'll
good.
put 'em in
Very
a black suit.
multicultural.
You
In
see
fact,
that?
all the CW.
And a clown fro.
What is it? That's all DC. All CW, right?
No. Yeah,
Yeah, DC.
Flash
A lot
is
of the DC stuff is.
It is CW.
Arrow.
It's all C. Yeah,
Yeah,
they've
most
been
of it.
very multicultural. They have everybody. I mean, to the point where it's almost too much.
Right. You see.
Like, all
Can we get
right,
more?
you know, because they always have they gotta have this and they gotta have that. It's almost
The same formula.
same formula.
Yeah, they do. They follow a formula,
Yeah.
a recipe.
And if I'm not mistaken, CW is a Time Warner network, is it? It kind of reminds me of WB50. And WB50 was a very similar
They
format.
still got that frog.
Right. No, they
Tap
killed the
dancing
frog.
frog. What the hell was the
man.
name of that frog? You remember?
He was from Looney Tunes, though. That was the whole
And that guy
point.
tried to make the money off of him, remember?
Yeah.
He kept him in the shoebox.
Wait, was
And
it?
he was dead.
All right, guys, we'll be right back.
Oh my God.
We'll be back for part 2 of Geeks versus Nerds.
Yeah, we're